How are we doing? Morning, how are we doing? Oh my god. How do we start with this? 560 views, the last one got 560 views. It's incredible. I didn't expect that at all, thank you so much. It was a bit different, wasn't it? But they've done this house up now, look at this house here. This house has been abandoned for so long, and they finally decided to, somebody's got hold of it and done it, and it's now the house that it should be. At one point it had no windows, no doors. Looks absolutely stunning, looks amazing. Let me just get out of this windy bit because I'm on the corner, so it gets a bit windy. Let me just get around the corner and then we'll go again. Sun's in my eyes, but I don't believe in wearing sunglasses when, out of respect, when you're talking to people, so give me 2 seconds. Can we just take a minute to talk about that last vlog? That was the response off you guys there. Thank you so much. That was bizarre. It really was bizarre. Some of the responses on the chat were brilliant. The funniest one was a private message that I got from somebody speaking to her husband going, "Is Rick alright? Is Rick alright?" I'm fine. It's just something I wanted to try. Seemed to work. 560 people liked it. Not bad at all, that is it? I'll take that. Weather's changed down here a little bit. Cooler, it's nicer. A lot cooler. Voila. So if you're one of those ones that commented in the last vlog, thank you so much. If you're one of the people that watched it, one of the 560, thank you so much. A couple of statistics. 50% of you dropped off after 30 seconds, which is fine. I'd most probably drop off to myself anyway. If I was listening to myself, I'd most probably do that. But that's normal. There's normally a drop off after the first 30 seconds. 33% of you stayed on till the end. Wow. You must be a glutton for punishment, eh? I thought I'd give it another go and see if we could do another one and see what comes to mind. Gimbal's a bit top heavy, so I'm putting a bit of pressure on my hands. It was weird because when I thought about the idea of what I was going to do on this vlog, what I thought I'd do is I'd plan it all out and do it step for step. Once again I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to apologise. I mentioned on the last one, I said I'm not going to mention this on the main channel. What's the first thing I do when I go live? I just want to say thank you so much for the response from that. I'm like, what am I doing? It's not about that. When you know. When you know. That's all it's going to be. It's not about that. It's not about the commercialisation. Hence the reason. Oh, there's Col. Hi, Col. It's not about the commercialisation of this one, and hence the reason why I'm not going to put Tenerife in the title, because that's like a clickbait thing. Where people go, "Ooh, Tenerife, let's click on that." Building another big house here. This one's come from nowhere in the last couple of months. Look at this. Look at that. That's a swimming pool, that wall there. Looks alright, doesn't it? So straight away, turn round. I went, "Thank you very much," on the main channel. I'm like an idiot. Managed to stop myself just in time. So if you found it ergonomically, well done. If I've let it slip on the main channel and you found it, you're more than welcome. That was the first thing I wanted to get past. Can't believe I did that. So, I'm an idiot. One of the things that I wanted to mention or talk about was when I decided to set this channel up. So I'm just checking to see if my mum's in. My mum lives over there. She's not there. Was that a plan of talking about everything? Like today I thought, so why here? And it was for people, for me, who might be going through life changes or thinking about a life change. I don't, you know what it is when I say life change? I'm thinking about it's career change, that's all it is. Your life change, your life's your life. And the path is set out. So that's not really a life change, it's a career change. If you change the situation, if you can't change the situation, change the situation. I'm a great believer in that, and that's what I've done a few times. And you know, some of the things, how do you explain it? I've only done it 3 times. Number 1, got into golf. Spoke about it last week, not very good. Did okay. But I was in a job, this is the thing about it, the reason why I changed this. I was actually in a job that I was disappointed in. I was disappointed in myself because I strive to be the best that I can be. I'd realised I'd maxed out on golf and I couldn't get any further. And I'm like, is this it? Great life, great money. I mean, the money was great. But you're going to work in such a position that I wasn't happy in that. I wasn't happy at all. It didn't do it for me at all. Because I wasn't hitting the level that I wanted to hit. Maybe I set the bar too high, I don't know. If I set the bar too high, yeah, possibly at the time, but when how old are you? When I'm 24, 25, and I'm in a job that I see as a dead-end job. I wanted to be a player, never good enough to be a player, so I became a teacher. Wasn't the idea what I set out the stall to be, but 95, 96, 98% of the golf professionals in the world become teachers because they're not good enough. You just don't realise it. They set you up to that, to become business and stuff. You know, the PGA. But you think you're going to be a player when you're a kid. So I did that, great life, 15 years. But when I got the opportunity that I didn't need to do it anymore, I took it. Under the pretense that it doesn't matter. Because I knew how cocksure I was. Within 10 years, I'd be back up there again. I'd be Cosgroving the crap out of it. So I thought. And then reality strikes. So I took the decision to get out of it. You look back and you go, should you have done that? I think I still would have done it, to be honest with you. The people, the lifestyle and everything was fantastic. But that niggling feeling of going to work disappointed, you know, a major part of your life, it has to be done. I got out of the golf to actually come to Tenerife in the first place. And that was because my mother's partner just passed away and I came over here. And I thought I can start business up over here. And that was a massive mistake. Lost an absolute fortune. And then went back to the UK with the tail between my legs. Not knowing what I wanted to do, to be honest with you. Not having a clue. But having 2 kids. 2 young kids. So you could say that the decision to get out of golf had backfired tremendously. But it hadn't. Because when I look at where I am now. But at the time, it feels that way. I told you it's busy around here. So we went to Newcastle because the ex-partner's family lives up there for the kids and that. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. So somebody suggested, why don't you go sell cars? I think it was my dad that suggested that. My dad suggested that years ago, why don't you go sell cars? He could see me as a salesman, so I thought I'd give it a go. Walked into a dealership at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Got the job by 4. That's how it's the car trade, folks. If you're in the car trade, comment below. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Turns out I was pretty decent, but I think the reason why I was decent at it is because I was desperate at it. I was desperate because I was 33 and on the bones of my backside. Losing a fortune over here. First time round, came away from here first time with a very, very bitter taste in my mouth. That was a feeling of failure. So came back to the UK, as I said, got into the car dealership game. And it was a great safety net. It really was. I still talk quieter when people are by, don't I? Turns out I was decent at it. And the trouble is when you're decent at something, because I was a good salesman, I was doing like 30 cars a month, which classed me in the top 4, 5 of Vauxhall sales, used car sales across the country. People want to keep you there because the people above suppress you because they know what they've got. It's like having a striker who then wants to go into coaching and they go, nah, stay striker, because we get the benefits of that. So I had to try and force my way through it. Just before we carry on, look at this, by the way. Look at this. There you go. Some people tune in for the sights. There's Montaña Roja. That's the rock that you're mounting that you see when you come off the airport and you get off the plane. That there. That's Montaña Roja on the side of El Medno. There's Los Abrigos, which is the little village at the start of the airport, at the start of the runway just there. That's beautiful, isn't it? That's going to be our walk today. You see it? It's quite a smooth place today. I took the career change, gone into car sales, fallen into car sales more than anything else. Wasn't really a choice. But thankfully it was there. I'll go that side, you get to see them. Thankfully it was there. Did alright, as I said, first year at it. Even though you're on a commission, you're on a wage of about £12,000 a year. You come out on a commission, car sales, to be honest with you guys, the truth is, as I said, it's a truthful channel. First year came out with 55 grand. Never earned anything less than 50 grand in car sales, which was, how'd you say that? If you're a young, can you imagine being a young kid? Because they do take a lot of young kids on now, in the 20s, with the idea of earning £12,000 and people go, no, I'm not doing that. But if you're decent at it, somebody in the 20s earning 50 grand a year plus, it's not a bad job, is it? It's not a bad job. I know it's getting tougher, but even then, let's say it drops now and it's now 40 grand. Still do it. The trouble is the money was higher up, the bigger money, and that's what I wanted to do. So I worked myself through the ranks, got myself up from sales exec, business manager, sales manager, general manager. They call it dealer principal. I was the general manager, first general manager's job. Failed at it. They always put you into a failing site, really, because the good lads, they don't want the good lads to fail. Let the new boys fail. It's a really, really wrong formula, but they want to save the superstars for the superstar sites. So they do it that way, which is a bit weird. Drop back down to sales manager again because of that. Then made myself back up again. Next thing you know, I'm regional support manager, which is looking after struggling sites across Scotland for the regional manager, well, the northeastern Scotland. Here's a funny story, by the way. If you're still with us, thank you. But here's a funny story. I'm living in Newcastle. I'm supposed to be working in a little site in Ardrossan. If you're up in Ardrossan, you might know it, the one on the corner, the Vauxhall site. It's not there anymore, I don't think. And it has 30 cars, 36 cars a month. That's what it's selling. But the general manager there is ill, so they've asked me to go and look after it. And this is around New Year's time. And my regional director was, he's Australian. So he's gone back to Australia for his holidays. He's away there for 3 weeks in Australia over Christmas and New Year. And it turns out another site on his patch, which is Middlesbrough Vauxhall. You know it, the one behind the McDonald's, if you're from Middlesbrough, from around that area. Turns out the assistant accountant, who I'd met previously, he's in his 20s, has actually embezzled the company for about 7 million. And they find out because he left his laptop on. He had a, what did he have? He had a cloned laptop from the company, and he'd left his laptop on and walked away. And the accountant came in. She had to do something on the laptops. And she realised it was a cloned one. She went looking into it, and they went down to the sum of about 7 point something million. So what happens is, straight away, the accountant, the assistant accountant, and the dealer principal all get suspended. And we're talking about Ardrossan. It's like having a little corner shop, to Middlesbrough, which is like having a massive Tesco's in a commercial area, and both of them now are without a leader. So I speak to the regional accountant, who should have picked it up, but he never did. And next thing you know, I'm looking after Middlesbrough Vauxhall for the next 6 months. And I think the guy got sentenced. He got sentenced to about 3.5 years, I think, for it. I don't know. You'll see it if you Google it. You'll find it, because it's all in there. It's all open air, so I can talk about it anyway. But yeah, and I was at 6 months at Middlesbrough Vauxhall. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Do you know what it was? I was thinking about where the point of this is going. I know where the point of this conversation is going. The reason being, from the car industry to here. That's a great question, isn't it? How do you get from the car industry to here? Luck? No, I'm looking. Bad luck? Yeah. Your bad luck doesn't always have to be unlucky. That's a great one. Honestly, that's something that I've learned since that Middlesbrough Vauxhall time. Great one to say, and let me explain this in a different way. So I'm at Middlesbrough Vauxhall, right? I've done 6 months there, stint, living in Newcastle. I'm driving down from Newcastle to Middlesbrough on a regular basis. 2 seconds, I'm going to show you this first. Nice, isn't it? It's nice. just at the back of the Fantasia Hotel. That's the beach there that I normally take Rolo down. When we go take the dog out on the beach, we normally take him down to that one there. He loves going in the sea over there. It's a little bit choppy for him today, I think, but it's beautiful. Look at that. Nice place. I've done my first 6 months at Middlesbrough Vauxhall, and everything in car sales is all about targets. And we smashed the target. The target was 50 grand. I think we came in at about 63 or something like that, which means that I'd earn a bonus, which was nice. I get summoned to head office, which is in Nottingham. And I'm like, what's happening here? Why am I in someone's head office? Trying to speak to the regional accountant. He's being very coy, very quiet. I'm like, what is going on here? So I go down there. You think at the time, because you never get someone down there, you think to yourself, oh, something's gone wrong here. I get in front of the regional director. No, actually, he's just been promoted to national franchise director. So he's the head of Vauxhall for Evans Halshaw. And he wants me to go to a place called Shire Moor, which is actually only about 4 miles from my house. And to be honest with you, Shire Moor's a beast of a site that's been run by a bloke who's actually, he's been known across the industry as a bit of a bully. He still is, by the way, he's still in there, but he's left that site now, so I'm not going to mention it, but he's there. And he got promoted to regional director. So in essence, I get put into one of the top sites in Newcastle, and this man had been my boss. Now I've had run-ins with this guy when we've been on the same level numerous times, because he's tried to steal stock, he's trying to do underhanded stuff, just in company tack, you know, like he's like a dirty footballer. And I've always called him out for it. Which after a while he didn't like, did he? So his boss is asking me to go to the site that he used to run, and I'm like, I don't really want to go, because I'm quite happy at Middlesbrough Vauxhall. I'm on a very big hill, by the way, sorry. So I don't want to go, because I'm very happy at Middlesbrough Vauxhall. We're ahead of plan, we're doing all right. Trouble is, sometimes the P powers above, they need to fill a hole. It's a flagship site in Newcastle, and now they obviously the fix, or they see me as the fix. So in essence, I turn around to him and say, what you're saying is, you want me to go to Newcastle? He turns around with, no, what I'm saying is, I want you to want to go to Newcastle. I said, well, that's never going to happen, but even though it was around on my doorstep, but I like the guy. So I did it, and I went there. Turns out in the car trade, that was the worst decision I could have ever made. Because I think by now, 570 people who watch this have a pretty decent idea of who I am, and would never believe that somebody like me can actually get bullied in the workplace. I know I did. I got bullied in the workplace like you wouldn't believe by that bloke, because he is a power above us now. He was in a position above us now, sorry. And to be honest with you, it was hell. Absolutely hell. Didn't realise at the time, just thought I was in a difficult position that I was trying to make the best of, because it was always going to turn into a failing site once he left, because it was built on sand. I think it still is, to be honest with you, but I don't know because I'm out of it. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is this: due to that position, I ended up leaving the car industry, because that was just I think that was just the final nail in the coffin between that and the divorce. Sorry, not the divorce at the time, the split. You know, it's like the final nail in the coffin. You just say, yeah, I've had enough of this. I've done a lot. And it was my sister that saved me at the time, because my sister says to me, come to Tenerife, come back to Tenerife. She's lived here for 25 years. Come back to Tenerife. She's got a business over here. She says, we'll go and do the business together. You speak Dutch, Flemish. We'll build the business, make it bigger, and come back over. So in essence, what she did was, if you're drowning and you're going under, she's the one that put her hand into the water, grabbed my collar and pulled me out. And I know she doesn't watch this, Gain. I know you don't watch this, but thank you. Thank you, because you did. You absolutely saved me. I spoke with my kids. They were happy enough for me to go. My eldest was just on her way out to university. She didn't actually want me to go, my eldest. She was on her way out to university. But you can imagine, it's like, she just wants her dad to be there, even though she's off. That sounds gallivanting, but she's off gallivanting and making new friends and going into student accommodation. My youngest wanted me to go, because she said in 2 years' time, or when she leaves school, because she was 14, she wanted to come and live with me over here anyway, so that was the impetus to do it. So what I'm trying to say is sometimes bad things happen. Now I look back on it and see it, and this is the first time it ever occurred to me. But sometimes when the bad things happen, it's not really for a bad reason. Because of the bad thing that's happened, a good thing has come out of it at the end. Now that petrified me at the time because I've never experienced that before. So when something bad happened to me, honestly I felt lost, completely lost. Didn't know what to do, never been out of control before. And it really, really shook me. But now, 4 years down the line, I look back, could be coming up to 5 years I think now, nearly 5 anyway. I look back and I'm actually grateful for what happened to get me out of a job that I fell into. Turns out I was successful at, but I fell into. Turns out successful at, that was like a Ricky Gervais bit, wasn't it? David Brent. Turns out it's quite good actually. Didn't mean it that way. Turns out that I turned my hand to it and did okay out of it, but it wasn't a choice. So it wasn't a choice that I got into it. It wasn't a choice I got out of it. But when I got out of it, I felt like a drowning man at the time. And it's only now when you look back that you actually almost like self-diagnose yourself. And then somebody mentioned about mental health. And I'm never one, right, which is the truth. I'm never one to talk about mental health because in my eyes I have never had mental health issues or felt I've had mental health issues until recently when you look back over the last maybe 10 years and you go, oh wow, yeah. So I've always thought I couldn't comment on it, but there you go. So there's a long story there, sorry, I hopefully I got the point across of it. Is if something's happening in your life and you feel at the time that it might be something really bad, it might not be, you know. And that's the truth, it might not be. But that was also then the second change of career where I've changed the situation or where a situation has been changed. I might need a little bit of a nudge from a sister. If you can't change the situation, you change the situation. And I'm a great believer on that. And that's number 2. So if you're in that position at the moment, or you're thinking about, or you're heading that way, and you think what a catastrophic result might come from it, it might not, you know. It might not. So from there, 4.5 years ago, I ended up in Tenerife. That's another story that I think, Jesus Christ, Tenerife's a journey in itself, it really is. Journey, there's that word again, hate it. The guy just picked up a massive rock, I thought, Christ almighty, what's he doing with that? That's a great story, Tenerife, Christ almighty. When you think about the stability of the security and stability of having a job for 15 years, twice, and then you come to Tenerife and you have jobs for 15 minutes. If I've seen in comments on the main channel, so what is it you're doing now, Rick? What is it you're up to now, Rick? Even to myself I'm going, yeah, I'm asking myself that same question. Well, for that story, if you're still with us, you're going to have to wait till the next one, because I think I've rambled enough. Trying to get a little bit more confident at people walking past and keep talking. But I think for this one, I think we're going to call it a day. Thank you very much. All I'm saying is when you know, you know. See you soon.